Well, I just gotta get the Instagram up on a Monday. All right, Instagram is good. Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to another great episode of Dad Mentality Podcast. I'm so excited that here this week to have this young man join me. I've been trying to get him in here for weeks and weeks, but he's the coldest man with the Clippers in Dallas, Texas. So he always busy out there. Y'all know how barbers do you. But it's all right. I got my man, Matty Ice, joining me today. We're going to have a great conversation about the book he's written about God's purpose and what it can do for you. So just check us out. Y'all know what it is. It's Dad Mentality.
What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Sometimes we gotta fix our mental. Or maybe it's not meant to be a dad, a father, that's what men do. I made a promise to my kids, that's what I do. I just want them to do things better than I do. Or better yet, better things that I did. What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Welcome to the show, shout out to the coach. And Matty Ice, Ice Cold Crypto. And each one, teach one. That's mentality, we just try and reach one. What is, that's mentality.
Hello. Ooh, lost my voice there. Hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of Dad Mentality Podcast. And we got a great one for y'all today. As y'all know, I don't do this by myself. I got my great co-host here to join me. Y'all know him as Wealthy and Blessed. Y'all know him as the Diversified Hustler. Y'all know him as the Ice Cream Man. Y'all know him as Matty Ice Cold Crypto. What's going on, Matty Ice? How you doing, sir?
What's good, man? Good to be here on this good Monday, man. How everybody feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great, brother. Feeling great. It's another beautiful day today.
Yes, sir.
And I'm excited that everybody is here. And as you know, we finally got this man, Matty Ice. You know, he treated us like we were stepchildren the first time I tried to get him out here. But you know, he finally showed for us. You know, he finally showed up for us. But I know him as an author. He's an entrepreneur. He's a great spokesman, man of God. I got to speak to him on Chef Dennis's show and said, I gotta have this man on my show. And you know, he's known as he got the coldest Clippers in Texas, but I don't know if that's true. I gotta go out there and get a little shape up, get a little something done. We'll see if we can do that one day. But you know, he's also, like I said, a father, he's also a husband. It's my man, Kevin Hughes. How you doing, sir?
Thank you for joining. What's going on, man? It's an honor for me, man, to be on this show, man. You know, especially, man, we all dance. It's fire, man. I'm excited to be in the building. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us, man. It was like I said, shout out to my boy Chef Dennis, who connect us on this show from the battle to the glory. You can check that out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6:30. That's my brother in podcast. So you know, always shoot him out. But you know, today we're gonna have a good time. I want to start off with, of course, self-care check-in. Self-care is something that we feel is important here at Dad Mentality. That, you know, you always check on your boys, man. Always check on your friends. As men, we don't really talk to each other. A lot of times we feel that we got to hold things in and stuff like that, man. If you don't got a friend that you can talk to, if you don't got a pastor, if you don't got a counselor, if you don't got any of these things, man, you can check in with us, man. Those of y'all in the comments, please let us know how you feeling from 0 to 10. Put your ratings in here. I'll definitely post them up and let people know how you going. But I'm gonna go ahead and let Matty Ice start us out with this week with how he's feeling from 0 to 10, and let me know what's coming up this week that you're excited about, brother.
I'm doing pretty good this week, man. Not excellent, but I'm at about a 7, man. Same as I was about last week. Last week was a good week, man. Was out of town all week for work, man. Down Virginia Beach. Just got back in town over the weekend. So just trying to get back on track for the holidays, man. Go shopping and do everything I need to do to get everything together for this Thanksgiving on Thursday. I mean, it's just another day, but to me, Thanksgiving is more just time with the family, everybody get together, man, slow down a little bit, spend time together, see what we're going to do that day, sit back, eat, watch some games, watch some movies, put some puzzles together, man, just do something. I'm happy to have Friday, y'all. So, I got a good 4-day weekend this weekend. So that's making me feel a little bit better. Looking forward to seeing the wife. My wife, she hasn't been home. She's been out of town over at our house for the last week. So she'll be back home on Wednesday. And her aunt's gonna come spend Thanksgiving with us. So man, looking forward to that. So should be a great week, man. Get the refresh over the weekend, and then get back to it. But I'm at about a 7, and hopefully by Thanksgiving Day, man, chilling with the family, I'll be at that 8, 9, 10, throughout the weekend.
Man, shout out to Lady O. You know what I'm saying? We love us some more, man. We're gonna have to come through. We might have to run through and grab a plate. I plan on doing that to Coach's house too. I might have me and Vicky might just run through everybody's house, get them plates and make sure everything good.
Yeah. That's what's up. Hey, we already know. You're always welcome, my brother.
Just so you know, Kevin, usually I'm the one cooking around here. So these pretenders like Matty Ice and Coach, they don't really know what they doing on the grill. So sometimes I gotta go over there and show them how it's really done. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, come on over, bro. Fire the grill up. Go bring a slab with you too, and some Delmonico's, baby. Yeah, the grill is open.
We'll get there, brother. But let me go ahead and so for me, I say I'm 7.5, 8. I say I'm still doing good. I say more 8. I'm excited that my daughter came home from college. Spend time with her, even though she been driving me crazy, man, about all the things that she got going on. Just I can tell that she missed us because every time I go in my room, her and my wife in the bed watching movies, all these chick flicks and stuff, and I gotta fight for my own room and this, that, and the other. But this is just a great thing to have my daughter back and having a great time with each other. So I don't really I don't really get too excited about the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas is the one that I love, but Thanksgiving we're gonna have a turkey. I'm making sure my wife make a turkey, even though we going over the in-laws, because my wife do make a bomb turkey, son. I don't know, like I can't eat anybody's turkey. It'd be dry, this, that, and other. My wife done perfected that turkey though. That turkey always
turkey this year. I decided I'm not doing turkey this year.
Yeah. Turkey. You said no turkey?
Nah. We doing. I'm doing something else. No turkey though. We gonna have some poultry, but I ain't doing turkey. I'm doing ribs and I'm doing seafood, some crab legs. It's gonna be non-traditional, bro. I'm gonna eat what I want to eat. I don't feel like messing with a turkey this year.
Yeah.
Ham. Don't have a ham though. I'm gonna do a ham and everything else, but no turkey, man.
Okay. So shout out to Reginald. He's in the building. Shout out to my boy JC, and also known as Kenny. My man Kenny, what's going on? Pastor Kenny having a good time out there. I know he gonna be out there helping the homeless and stuff like that. He always out in the streets doing his thing. So anyway, but yeah, I say I'm a 9, everything good. I mean, an 8, everything good, family good, life is good, man. I can't complain. You know, it's the simple things in life that make you happy. So that's where I'm at. Where you at, Kevin? And Reginald, let me see where you at 0 to 10, man. Kenny, you too. Where y'all at 0 to 10?
Hey, man. You know, first of all, again, I gotta say it's an honor to be in the building, man. And if you would have asked me this question a week ago, bro, I was sick as a dog. You know, I was having respiratory issues, man. I'm on the back half of it. You know, so man, I was about a 2 or 3 about a week ago. But man, today I'm excited. This week I'm excited. You know, one of my favorite holidays because a big fella love to eat. Y'all talking about grilling. Hey, come on, man. I'm one of them on that grill now, you know, but I'm a dial back. All I'm gonna say is if I wasn't cutting hair, and my family that's in this chat, if you in the bottom of this chat, let them know. If I was not cutting hair, I'll be on that grill, man. I'm one of them on that grill. But I digress. I'm about an 8, man, because I'm excited. I got family coming in town that I haven't seen in a while, man. My little brother, my niece, cousins, aunts, you know. So I'm excited to see a lot of different people, man. Of course, I lost my mother a few years back, and around this time, of course, it gets a little emotional. But when you have family, man, you know, close by, man, it kind of it hit a little different. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man, to have family around. Of course, man, wifey, kids, you know. So man, I'm kicking it in the 8, man. I'm excited though.
Okay. All right, cool. You know, hey man, the holiday season always brings that good time to spend time with the
Yeah,
family, man.
sure.
You know, that's what it's really all about. Forget the turkey, forget the fat jolly man that you know what you call it, and all
Yeah.
this, man. And I'm be honest with you, and this just came to my mind, and I'm just bringing it up. But as us as men, I don't know if you did this, Kevin, but I'm gonna tell my kids, do not do this, Santa Claus thing anymore. You know what I'm saying? My wife was convinced to make me do that, and I can't do it, but I don't believe that. I'm like, there's 2 things that happened that Coach. One was what Coach said, and he said you shouldn't have your kids believe in Santa Claus for too long because he's an imaginary person that they don't get to see, and then eventually you tell them that he don't exist, right?
Yeah.
How do you tell them about Santa Claus and then later try to tell them about Jesus? Because then you putting the same thing on them where you're telling them about this person that they don't get to see and he does all these great things, and then Santa Claus you eventually tell them you don't exist, but then you're telling them that that Jesus did exist. You know what I'm saying? And when he told me that, I said, you know what, I'm not doing no Santa Claus ever again. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling that, I'm not going into that what you call it. So I don't know if you did Santa Claus, Kevin, but I think as a culture and people, we need to stop giving this jolly fat man our credit.
I feel the same way. I got a little, mixed thoughts on it. I didn't grow up believing in Santa Claus, you know what I mean? In my household, we didn't celebrate Christmas. So honestly, celebrating holidays a little new to me, you know what I mean? Once, me and my wife got together, she celebrated holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all of that. But and when I grew up, I didn't celebrate Christmas or any of those holidays, you know what I mean? So it's more just time to chill with the family, you know what I mean? We buy things and do things all year long, you know what I mean? I do appreciate them and enjoy them now, but it's just another day, you know what I mean? And we just just make the best of it with the family, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I don't want to go too deep in it, but it's just another day, man.
Man, I ain't scared to go deep in it, man. So my kids, 22, 19, and 18. I told them when they were young, I'm talking about 3, 4. Of course, me and my wife kind of, we had that. I don't take that from. No, we taking it from them because I work way too doggone hard to tell them that this dude came down an imaginary chimney that we don't have because we living in an apartment. How he come down the chimney? That's a whole nother conversation. But no, I told my kids early on, man, the truth. And also, man, to focus their mindset, man, on Jesus, man. And I really could go down this rabbit hole of how we have boxed Jesus into Christmas, but I ain't gonna do that, man. I'm gonna leave that one alone, man.
No, I
Because
got
Jesus,
you. Yeah, I don't want to get into it either, but I feel the same way. Like now, I wish I had never did it. I'll tell you. But I was definitely heated the year I bought my daughter a bike, and she was riding around on Christmas Day talking about "Thank you, Santa," yelling at the top of her lungs. Boy, I was hot.
Yeah,
I was hot. I was like,
hey man, why you be putting that pressure on us and then got to put Santa name on her?
Trust me. Me and my son was just talking about that earlier today. Like, just like I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the connection. Where do Santa Claus, a jolly man from the North Pole, what do he have to do with Jesus and Christmas? I don't know the connection. I don't know if somebody else do, but
that's a rabbit hole, bro. That's a rabbit hole. Like, we can go there, but I'm telling you, this gonna be one.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm just
let's go off now, just cause.
Yeah. Let's keep it. Let's stay on track right there.
All right, let's get into it. Fellas. So, one thing I want to talk about is the soul of a man chosen for purpose. That is the book title of Kevin Hughes' book and workbook. It was definitely a great read. It was something that I definitely appreciated. Now I just kind of want to go into it just a little bit of just to get into it. I don't want to tell people what the book has in it, because I want them to go read it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want them to go read it. I want them to go buy it. I want them to come support a great Black man trying to do God's work and be in his purpose. Yeah. And being in your purpose to me is really what I felt is what life is all about, man. So, when I saw the title, saw the name, I hurried up and bought the book, read the book, had a great time. I then handed it to Coach, who unfortunately is not going to make it here today, but handed it to him. He read it. He completed the work. I didn't do the workbook because I knew I was going to give it to him. But I didn't think he was going to do the workbook. But he wrote all in my book, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how Coach do, you know.
Coach. Okay, Coach.
I guess I got to buy another book this week, man. I bought a book last week from the guests we had all day, man. So
Reginald Foreman, That's definitely
big
for sure
right there, man.
Yeah. So Kevin, man, you let me know. Send the link, man. I check your joint out too, for sure.
For sure.
You definitely can get it on Amazon, and I put kevinhughes.mystrikingleague.com. Can you get it there too?
Absolutely. It'll you can hit the link and it'll take you straight to it.
Okay. Excellent. But please check out that book, supporting it. Let me tell you something. Any man, like for me, I got all kinds of issues, dyslexia and stuff like that. So a lot of times I always buy audio books, but I took the time to sit there and read it. I was on vacation that weekend, so I had time to sit in front of the beautiful ocean and just read and really absorb it. And I enjoyed it. I think it's something great. But let's get into some of the questions that I have for you today.
Yes,
and one of the things I wanted to ask you was, the story is about your purpose and you coming into your purpose. The struggle and almost the things that you went through that helped you get there or make you get into that purpose. When did you know that God wanted you to share that story with the world?
Ooh, man, that's a great question. I mean, you just gonna shoot it straight out like that, huh?
Yeah, man, that's how I go, bro. Yeah, you gotta come in here prepared, sir.
Yeah. I love it, man. It's my story, so it make it easy to prepare, man. I'll try my best to be as transparent as possible, man. So to directly answer that question, man, that purpose goes back, man, when God originally called me, right? When I was about 10, 11 years old. Okay. So had a traumatic childhood, had a pretty good childhood, but traumatic and it was good at the same time. Seen a lot of things, dealt with a lot of things. Which that book is going to be coming soon, but that's a whole nother conversation. We're going to dig into this one.
Okay.
So where this book lives, where this book is most vibrant at, it takes place when I moved here from St. Louis, Missouri to here in Fort Worth, Texas. And this particular book is speaking in volume and directly to what I had to deal with from the time frame of when I first moved here until now. So understanding my purpose goes back into my childhood, but accepting my purpose goes into the avenue of what the purpose of this book was and why I put a lot of emphasis in this book. So to give you this, understanding my purpose is, man, I was chasing money, man. I was chasing success, like most men do. That's what we do, bro. We chase that bag, man. We like money. We like the things that money can buy. And in the midst of me chasing money, it caused me to turn my back on who God was originally calling me to be. So losing it, losing a six-figure income, losing those things that I built up, that I had money and I was going to buy. I bought me a Camaro and buying all these different things, buying my wife certain things. And when all of those things are taken away from you, you're left with you. And that's where it took me. It took me into a place of who are you outside of what your job says? Who are you outside of what you have and the possessions you have? So that's when it really hit me like, dang, bro, who am I? What am I?
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
no, that I definitely.
I feel that because
yeah,
my journey was similar. I went through something similar too. You know what I
real.
mean? Fact, yeah.
That's dope.
Nah, figuring out who you are outside of, what's everything around you. Because most people say, "Oh, I'm a father. I'm this. I'm that."
Yeah.
It's really a huge difference just figuring out who you are, what's your purpose, and what are you when you strip all that stuff down. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? And that was definitely something that I had to go through as well. So I definitely related to the book, especially you talk about the death in your family and how that really affected you. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? I talk about here openly, my father died when I was 11.
man.
And
Sorry.
and and yeah, and I saw the thing that was the worst part was I saw him that morning. Like my dad, I saw him. We had a full conversation. Matter of fact, I was mad at him because he woke me up because I was supposed. My dad had a field. He had plants, and I was supposed to water the plants, and
Mm,
I ain't water them. So he woke me up before he went to work and was like, "Nah, you got to water my plants. Go water my plants." And then I go to school, in less than an hour into my day of school, I'm coming out and they telling me my father's dead. You know what I'm saying? And that I always say the death to me is never good. Like I don't handle death well. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And death is definitely something that I feel that can really, I wouldn't say motivate you, but change how you, it can change what's important to you. How about that? I think that's a better.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
can it can numb you as well, man. Going through the channels of grief. So even tied to my purpose, when I lost everything, um, all I had was of course family and my mother, and then my mother got sick and she died through the same process, man. So and we had just rehabilitated our relationship.
Mm,
So um after we she moved here to Texas from St. Louis, we went through a spat in a conversation and told her about some things that happened in my childhood. I felt abandoned, and she took it all in. And then we rehabilitated our relationship to the point to where we were talking every day. And she gets sick and dies in the midst of me going through this identity issue with not having my job and nobody was hiring me. I get blackballed and I lose my mother. But
yeah,
also like you, man, with my father, man, my father passed away, man, when I was 25, man. And it was almost similar, but not quite similar as your story. Uh, I was supposed to take him out for his birthday,
mm,
and I promised him I was going to take him out. And his birthday was June 25th. And I remember I went to work, and That particular day, I told my job that I had to get off early. I was going to take them to work. I was going to take them out to eat after work. But the work schedule got so hectic that people was, had called off and we had, stuff to take care of, and they wouldn't let me leave. So I ended up being at work longer than expected, got off late. I was tired. I remember the last conversation we had, he called me and said, "Hey man, are we still going out?" And I went off on him, cussed him out. "Man, I just got off work. I ain't thinking about going out. I'll get you another day." And he died June 27, 2 days later. So that would always live in me like, dang, I missed an opportunity, man, to at least, man, kick it with Pops, man, one time before he got up out of here. Yeah. So I buried that and worked, and coached. And then when I didn't have coaching, when I didn't have that job and my mother passed, all of those things came back up, bro. And I had to deal with it.
Nah. I definitely understand that because, it took me well into my adulthood before I dealt with those buried depressions. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely something that we the problem is we as men, we do bury that. We do take things because a lot of times we've been taught all our childhood, men don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Real men don't do this. Real men don't do that. And we always look at being vulnerable as a weakness. You know what I'm saying? When actually being vulnerable is a strength.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Is definitely a strength that, once you really start getting into that being vulnerable. Now, I'm not saying you can't be vulnerable with everyone.
Yeah.
But there's certain people in our lives that, that if I can, like, I've had the conversation with my wife. If I can't be vulnerable with you, then who can I be vulnerable with?
Come on,
you
man.
know what I'm saying? When is that? And it's but we also have to learn that the safe place begins with yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta be, at one with yourself in order to be able to really tap into that vulnerability, really tap into the things that is going on. Shout out to Destiny. I don't know what she said. That's a real long sentence, but shout out to Destiny as well, joining us today. So, but all right. So my next question that I want to get into is I don't know, Matty, did you have something you want to add to that, or you good?
Nah, I'm listening because a lot of his journey, man, I done went through similar things, bro. You know what I mean? And it definitely makes you either step up, realize yourself, because you got to go two ways. Either you're gonna allow it to break you, or you're gonna learn from it, and it's gonna cause you to grow and evolve, man. You know what I'm saying? And those were some of the things that I went through, like losing a great job, all that I knew at one time. So you got to reinvent yourself, I mean? And dealing with, loss. I lost my father, kind of similar, with the way you lost your pop. We didn't get into it. I was fortunate that I was able to see him before he passed, but it was still like a shock. My father, I called my dad one day, man. I was at my brother's house and he just so happened to be around the corner, and he ended up coming over my brother's house, man. We sat down and watched the Redskin game that day, chilled out, seeing him. We was laughing and joking. And the next morning, after we spent that time together, the very next day, I get a call that he had a heart attack, and I rushed to the hospital. And by the time I got there, he had passed. So I was fortunate that, I was able to see him the day before. That's how things work. We was able to spend that day with him the day before he passed, And I always look on that. And then, the passing of my wife's mother, and different things, man. It brings you makes you stronger, and it's never easy, but you can use it, man, if you know how to focus it, but I definitely feel with what you're saying, man. I've had similar experiences.
Yeah. And you know what, man, to kind of elaborate even more, man, sometimes, not sometimes, us men, let's do this. us men, we identify ourselves in certain ways, right? We identify ourselves with what we do, how we make an income. We identify ourselves as what we go home to, whether if it's our lady or our kids, right? And we also identify ourselves, especially us men, as mama's boys. Or in some cases, you're a daddy's boy, right? If your father raised you. And God gave me he gave me something called the dig. And it's an acronym, right? It's called depression, identity, and grief, right? Each of us will face that crossroad. In my crossroad, the the identity that I didn't have was not given to me by my father. I was in search. That's why I was reaching for money and reaching for certain levels of success, because that's what I thought an identity of a man was. And when I lost those things, that job, I didn't realize I had to grieve that, bro. I had to grieve losing my job. I thought like, oh man, I'm gonna go find something. I'm young. I can get out here and do what I do. But I had to go through a grieving process, man. I equated everything to depression. And it wasn't until I was writing the pages of this book, man, and God told me this. He said, you haven't identified each individual thing that you went through, if it was depression, if it was you dealing with an identity issue, or if you were grieving. And I was like, huh? He said, let's break it down. Let's take this thing in bits and pieces. And in the bits and pieces is where I found purpose and I found a true identity. Guess what, bro? That thing was hid in my heart the whole time.
Absolutely.
It was in there the whole exact time. But I had to go through the process of dealing with that depression and saying, okay, maybe this depression, and I hope this is helping somebody out here, man, especially us men, man, when we deal with our mental health. When a lot of things, we kind of just go, and we don't deal with the depression things that happen that are right in our face. We let our wives kind of have things the way they want to have it, and we just accept whatever comes along with it. And then when the rubber meet the road, we are left with that depression. That's why the suicide rates are so high. And that thing stems from not really knowing who you are and having an identity. And then once you don't have the identity, guess what, man? You got to go through the process and grieve of who you thought you were supposed to be. Let him die so God can really teach you who you're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that is very, very good. Well said. I mean, because that is exactly what I feel. A lot of that stuff that you just said is exactly what I have gone through and done it live on this show. You know, I used to always be known as the Beast One. I felt like God was telling me I had to kill that persona. You know what I'm saying? I had to get rid of that persona. It's definitely in the wilderness too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Going through the wilderness, going back to Reginald's book as well. You know what I'm saying? Is you find a lot of purpose going through that wilderness.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? When you go through that wilderness and the things that God has brought forth to you, you know, really can help you go to God so that you can get the instructions, that you can listen. And a lot of times God ain't telling you nothing different than what he already told you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you're just willing to listen. Now you're willing to go through that. Now you're willing to go through that door. Now you're willing, because I remember when God first told me what my purpose, I told him there's no way that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And my nephew told me, my cousin told me today, he said, if you ever want to make God laugh, just tell him what you want to do.
Hey, man, it's like that.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and when he told me that, I was like, yeah, it's crazy. And now, you know, now I'm 47 years old. Now I'm working towards that goal. I'm working towards that purpose. And the crazy thing about it is my wife, I feel like my wife, and she feels like it too, is now working in God's purpose. I'm more excited for her every morning. You know what I'm saying? Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm excited. I'm like, man, you get to go in purpose today. Like you get to be in purpose today, and I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be there when I'm waking up because I've had jobs. You know what I'm saying? I had my job. I quit my job. I think a little over maybe a year ago. No, I think I quit it in January, February of this year. So I was making a lot of money in that job, but it wasn't fulfilling my purpose. Ooh. I didn't feel my purpose at all. And when I quit that job, they thought I was crazy. They literally was like, so you don't have another job? I was like, nah. They was like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know, wait for God to tell me. You know what I'm saying? And when you say it like that, the people who are adults, yeah, they I mean, they literally my boss then took me out another time and was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna take your computer. Just keep it. and
he thought you was gonna change your mind.
If at the end of these 2 weeks, you decide to stay on, I won't come and get the computer. You know what I'm saying? Until you got something else. And I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's Monday. I'm not coming back to work. It don't matter at this point. So, you know, but anyway, but I know that I'm on the journey right now. Right now, I'm on the journey. I've already
life is a journey, bro. It's not a destination. So you know what I mean. I think it's going to always gradually evolve because you know I feel the same way that I'm on a journey. I'm on a path right now that I didn't think that I would be on, but I know it's ultimately leading me to where I need to go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's seasons, and you just got to stay focused, got to stay positive, and then you know what I mean. Those breadcrumbs will lead you to where you need to go. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just how life is. I truly believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good, man. You mentioned the wilderness, man. If you don't mind, I just want to say, God showed me something, man, about the wilderness, bro. And if we get a little biblical, right? If you remember, the first time we ever heard about the wilderness, man, and we really dove into the wilderness was when Moses led the people out of Egypt into the wilderness.
Yes.
God was showing me something, man. A wilderness happens after you come to a realization that you can't stay where you are, right? So God will bless you where you are to send you into a tough time in order for you to get over into where he's promised and he's designated for you to be.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing I learned about that is that you can either choose to be walking through it for 40 years or you can listen to what God's got for you and what he's telling you.
Or you can be like Moses. You can't even access your actual promised land.
Yeah.
Or like those generations that died, bro. It's generations that had to die off and couldn't even access what they were supposed to walk into.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
People before us, man. Look at our parents, man. Our parents have gone through certain things, man. You don't think that God gave them what he's given us to do? What we're supposed to do, we're supposed to pass the baton to our generations. We're not supposed to drop the baton and leave them in limbo trying to figure out who they are and what they are.
Yeah.
So God has crafted us and he's grooved us and said, now, my son, you have to go into this wilderness and I'm going to mold you in this place of your wilderness because I have to extract those old behaviors that you had in Egypt, bro. I got to take them things about you in order to get you to the promise of where I am calling you to. That's why that wilderness took them so long. Man, they ain't want to let some of that stuff go that they had, those habits that they had in Egypt, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was saying about killing that persona. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta get rid of whatever that is that is going to hinder you, that's going to stop you. And I also believe that it fine tunes going through the wilderness, does two things. One, it makes sure that you can't give no one else the glory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't give no one else the glory once it's done and over with. Once you've gone through that and God got you through, and once you get into the point where God has got you there, you can't go back and be like, I did it myself. You know what I'm saying? I did it myself. I'm the person that got, that it's nothing but the glory of God is the reason why you're here. You know what I'm saying? That God brought you to be here to do that thing. And then it also makes it so it's easier because like right now, like I said, I think last week, I've now signed up to be to work with the youth at my church. And that was something that I was battling for years. Like I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But then once I got through the wilderness and once I quit my job and did all these things and I told God I'm willing to do whatever it is, God goes, by the way, if you thought I forgot, I need you to walk through this door right here. This one right here. It wasn't even, it was funny how God did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to Chef Dennis and I'm talking to somebody else about what you call it. And the next thing you know, I tell Chef Dennis, I was like, yeah, I'm nervous. I feel like I'm the person running to the edge of the diving board, but won't jump in the water. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as I said that night, my wife tells me about the opportunity. And she was like, yeah, I've been waiting for you to watch because I didn't go to church because I was sick. And my wife went to church and she heard the pastor say that they wanted to revamp the thing and my wife, she said she sped home, but then God told her to wait. And then when she finally told me, it was the perfect timing because I had just talked about it and I had just said that, I'm struggling with it. And then as soon as she said it, I heard God as clear as day say to me, jump. Now it's time to jump. You said that you're doing all these things. You're putting all this stuff in the plan. Now jump. So I had to jump. It was nothing I could do. I'm like, yeah, I can't now not trust in you. You know what I'm saying? I can't now trust that what it is just because I'm afraid. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk through that door. You got to do what it is that God wants you to do. I love you, Destiny, but I can't read all these long messages. You know what I'm saying? And if it ain't nothing, so you gotta concise that for me. But I appreciate you joining us and getting in the comments. I do see you there, Reginald, talking about death in the wilderness, all things contrary to God's plan must go. Yeah, everything that is not what God wants must go. So, but I just feel like once you really find your purpose, now I got this question. So once you went through the wilderness, you came through, you talked to God, he's giving you your purpose. Mm-hmm. How different does it feel for you? What is how different does it? Because my wife's going through her purpose. She's living in her purpose. And for me, I wake up happy as I don't know what, because I want to be there too. Mm. You know what I'm saying? It was a huge difference. When I was waking up for money, I didn't want to wake up. I was like, I'm cool. Now I wake up for my wife. I get her coffee ready. I get her excited. I'm like, man, you get to go on your purpose. You should be jumping out this bed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Was it like that for you, or how did you feel? Man. Once you realize your purpose?
I think the biggest question is, how do you realize your purpose?
Okay. Where with that?
And to answer that question first, your purpose was something that comes easy to you, right? That you really don't find an instantaneous enjoyment in doing because it's so easy for you to do, right? That's something that God has gifted you to do. That thing that comes easy to you that you necessarily really don't initially like to do.
Right.
That's who God is. He's crafted you to be. That's what your purpose is. To give you examples, it could be you're a speaker. When you talk The room goes silent and people are locked in and you can grab the attention, but you may hate to talk to people. It could be something like with cooking. When you cook, everybody shut up and they eat, and all you can hear is people smacking. Okay. It can be something as simple as you are the type of person that's always there to love on people where they are. Whether if they are grieving, if they're going through certain things, or if they just need somebody to talk to. You instantly do it because it's second nature to you. Once you first come to grips, again, with that dig, that depression, that identity, and the grief, once you scrap all of those things and you say, oh man, you mean to tell me this is who I've been the whole doggone time?
Yeah.
Give you scripture with it. The Bible says that before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. Mm-hmm. And because he knew you, he had already crafted your purpose and your gift together. And he knitted that thing and he embedded that thing inside of your heart. I'll give you a secular scripture. The Bible says that gifts come without repentance, meaning I gave you these gifts where you ain't even got to pay attention to it. The hard thing for you to do is to accept your gift and your purpose and allow those things to intertwine.
Why do you think? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. You about to ask the same question I was going to say.
I was going to say, why do you think it's so difficult for us to accept our purpose?
Because go back to, it's something that you know how to do that you really don't like to do because it's no challenge to you. A few of my things that, or it could be this as well. It could be a discouragement of something that happened in your past that make you not even want to do that. Case in point, when I was growing up, they used to put me in the behavior classrooms. And they used to tell my mother, that boy needs some medicine. He got an imagination. He's sitting over there talking to people. He's sitting over there. He's creative. He writing all these different things down. I would write and draw these different plays out, and I would do all these different things, and I would write. And this, my imagination was so big. But to somebody else, my purpose and my gift of who I was as a writer, they didn't see it as that. So what they did, they dimmed it like he has some kind of mental or ADD or ADHD. So what happens is further along the line, I get to throw that thing back and say, no, I'm not a writer because it's tied to ADD. It's tied to ADHD. That's not who I am. And then after I keep denying who I am, I don't even accept who I am because I've denied who I am all of these years of my life. So now I have to kill that and grieve my thoughts about that thing that's my purpose. I have to grieve it because I had wrong thoughts about who God has called me to be. I am a writer. I am an author. I am a speaker. So those are the things that God had to show me, man, that was tied to my purpose, bro.
Okay. Maddie, you got anything to say about that?
I agree. Sometimes, you know what I mean, they can like somebody just said, they can dim your light, you know what I mean? And then you got to remember,
Facts,
you know what I mean, your true powers, and then, you know, believe in yourself and what you're capable of being. You know what I mean? Because when we was kids, you know, me and my boy was talking about, like, you think you could do anything when you was a kid, man. You ride around on your big wheel, you know what I mean? You ride and you feel invincible. But then, you know what I mean, somebody tell you, you know, chill out, be safe, don't hurt yourself. You know what I mean? They instill that fear in you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just gotta get back to, you know, still being smart, but still having that youthful type of belief. You know what I'm saying? That you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think it all comes from is belief in yourself, man, and belief that there's a high power that's guiding you and helping you, that's going, you know what I mean, allow you to be able to do the things that you know, choose and want to do.
Yeah. that going into that was my next question. How did God guide you into having the confidence to walk into your purpose?
Man, I found myself without any other thing to hold on to. And I used my mother. I used, my wife. I used, my job as things that I was holding on to as security, and didn't realize that all of those things became idols to me, and I wasn't trusting God, who He called me to be. So a lot of my security was snatched away from me, man. And when I was little, bro, my father was trying to teach me how to swim, and I was terrified of water. And his idea to teach me how to swim was to throw me in the deep end. Excuse me. And he was trying to tell me to paddle, this. Everybody don't learn that way. And I was definitely one of those ones. I was about to die. And I realized it wasn't until he was hands-on with me saying, listen, bro, this is all you got to do. Move your arms in the rhythm of moving your feet. That's the same way God had to do with me. I was so used to grabbing onto everything for dear life and not realizing God was there the whole time guiding me. And in Him guiding me, He was teaching me, hey, this is your gift, but this is your purpose. I'm going to use both of them to intertwine. I'm going to use both of these things. And I'm going to allow you to walk in rooms that your name has been spoken into. Or I'm going to allow you to go into places. But in the midst of this, I'm also stripping you of things that you thought was me, and it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, in going into those idols, so let me tell you, and I've talked about this freely, and me and my wife have even talked about this, that the people don't realize I made my wife my idol. Even though I'm a man of God, this, that, and the other, it became a point where I looked for my wife to solve my problem. And and God had to really break me down to the point where I stopped looking for her. My wife is the same as me. She's not. I put her on that pedestal of where she was she was when something was wrong, I came home expecting her to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Expecting her to fix it, and it's crazy. I think that a lot of men, not just saying it's our wife, it could be our mothers, it could be this, it could be that, where we put these people on pedestals to almost really replace God. Yeah. And God had to really take me through the wilderness to even stop depending on her and depend on Him, to be able to hear His voice as opposed to even my wife's voice or even mine. And it's definitely something that that I talk to as I mentor or talk to other people about these things.
Yeah.
That it's crazy how we as people, not even just men, but we put people on these pedestals that they never deserve to be on.
Yeah.
And once you put them on there, you one, it's unfair to them, and two, it's unfair to you because everybody's human. Everybody is a sinner. Everybody are these things. So to put somebody else other than God on that pedestal is the thing that in my opinion will definitely lead you in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And I love my wife and she is great, but the greatest thing I did was take her off that pedestal. It made our marriage better. And it's crazy how people would think that it didn't, but it did. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife have the best relationship, and it's only because I stopped looking to her to solve my insecurities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it is.
Hey, bro, that's so good. That's so good right there. You know, because that's it. That's exactly what it is. You put her there because of insecurities that you didn't want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I put certain people in certain places because of the insecurities that I didn't want to deal with. So in order to get even close to your purpose or to have the understanding of your purpose, man, you have to come to grips with snatching those idols down and having a real identity check. A real identity check. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody say God, you know, God is the head of my life until something like have to be changed up or something happen. Yeah. If you really want to know, if you really want to do a self-check, ask yourself this, man. Look at your life and say, if I were to take this thing out, how would that make me feel about me? And how would that make me feel about God? If I was to take this particular thing away from me. And that'll let you know where your heart is.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm for it. I love the fact that you love your wife, boy. Because hey, as a man, real talk. Let's really get that understanding. There was a love that she was able to give you that made you put her in that place. That's dope in itself.
Yeah.
But to understand, like, oh man, I think I didn't put you way too far up above on this pedestal, man. And maybe I just need to love on you from a place and not put you up here as a cop out to be like, you know, I'm insecure there, so I'm gonna let you stay there. You got it. Yeah. So I think that's fire, bro. I think that's dope, man, that you can identify that, man, and you can deal with that.
Therapy, brother.
Yeah.
Christian therapy at that. Yeah. I had the best. My pastor was my therapist, and let me tell you something. That man broke. Well, the thing is, I've known my pastor since I was 16. He was my youth pastor, and then I came and saw him. But anyway, he, you know, he broke it all. He definitely broke it down, and we do what's called a relationship conference. And in that relationship conference, we had a gentleman, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he came in, but he was the one that brought it to my attention. He was the one that brought it to my attention that I was putting my wife on a pedestal that she didn't deserve to be on. And at the time when he said it, I thought it was crazy because I was just like, what do you mean? It's my wife. Of course she's great, you know, because all this time you've been taught as a man that, you know, put your wife on a pedestal, put her on this, do that.
And we got this.
And that's how men do. That's how you keep a woman and this, that, and the other. You want to know what? That was how I was destroying our marriage. You know what I'm saying? That was how I was destroying our marriage. And I'll tell everybody that I get to talk to about this when they have that conversation, that it literally made our relationship and marriage 100 times better that I took that pressure off my wife. That I took the pressure that she didn't have to, she don't solve my problems no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not looking to her. I'm not looking for her to solve my problems if we're being 100% honest, we all men here, I'm not looking for her she was just another vice. She was just another thing. Like, I'm having a bad day. Let's have sex.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with my day. Yeah. But us having sex makes it much better. You know what I'm saying? It makes it much better. And I'm not dealing with the real things that I'm going through, but it's the same thing as alcohol for me. It was the same thing for alcohol. I'm having a bad day. Let me go drink. Let me go do this. Let me go do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm having a bad day and let's say my wife don't want to have sex, now I'm hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm upset. Now you don't love me. Yeah. Now you don't care about how I feel. Now this, that, and the other one is none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's all made up in me. I was making up that whole scenario. My wife wasn't even, she wasn't even aware of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I looked at her, you know, hey, we have sex. Everything's great again. You know what I'm saying? And that's not fair. That's not that's not what God intended it for. And B, you know, that's not why your wife is here. She's not here just to have sex with you to make you feel better for that moment. And you still don't deal with what is the real issue. You know what I'm saying? You still don't deal with the real issue. Dealing with the real issue is what you have to do. And anytime people use anything from sex, alcohol, drugs, you know, whatever the case may be, to numb themselves, to not deal with the real issue that's going on. But I do want to go back to your book. Let me digress from that and go back. Because I gotta, but my biggest thing, I was just curious, if you could go back today and talk to yourself when you was in that state of depression, what advice would you give yourself? What advice would you tell yourself that to what would you say?
Man, that is a really good question. The first thing I would definitely tell myself, it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. I know it's not what you thought it was supposed to be. I was holding on, and it's emotional for me, y'all. I was holding on to what I believed, because what I believed in is not like I'm doing something bad or wrong, and I done did my dirt in this life, but I'm holding on to my mother. I'm holding on to all of these different things, man. I thought I was supposed to be a provider, God. This is what you said. I thought this is what I was supposed to do, and I was holding on. If I was to go back and talk to young Kev just a few years ago, I would tell him, let go. Because in that letting go, in that falling, I found a deeper yearning for God. And it wasn't performance-based. It wasn't about what I could do, the work I can do. It wasn't based off of how well I can put on a show. But it was just all about love and walking into really sonship of who God had for me. He says, for real, man, I'm father to the fatherless and I'm mother to the motherless. I can quote it with the best of you, but I didn't believe it. Because I ain't believe God loved me enough, man. You love me enough to prophesy. You love me enough to speak and to do all of these things. But in those moments, man, when I let go, is when I really feel God's love, man.
Yeah.
So I would tell him, it's okay, Kev.
Let it go.
Let it go.
All right. Matty, you got anything you want to say about that?
Nah, nothing to add, man. I love the passion right there, man. Yeah.
All right. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We can make sure y'all get his book, The Soul of a Man. Make sure you go out and definitely buy it. You can buy it on Amazon. You can go straight to his website that's scrolling on the bottom. The Soul of a Man, chosen for a purpose. And let me go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Can I give a testimonial?
Absolutely.
Went to go get some glasses, man. My eyes was tripping, right? I'll try to make this story as short as possible. Went to go
Take your time, brother. You're good.
And I walked in. You know, my wife was on my head. Boy, go get you some glasses. You can barely see. She'll trust me to driving at nighttime, y'all. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead. Go get these glasses, man. So I walk in. I'm walking around, looking at the glasses. And the doctor takes me back, check my eyes. He said, yeah, man, you've been tripping. You need some glasses. So I sit down. And this lady comes over. She begins to talk to me about, the options that you have, of course. So, me, I'm bubbly, like, hey, how you doing? She said, I'm fine. How are you? So we begin to talk. And as we begin to talk, I'm transparent. I'm honest, man, about my life and my story, man. That's the healing that I went through, right? So I'm just talking about my life, talking about my story, and she began to tell me about some things that's going on in her life. She says, I beat cancer. They thought I was going to die. And now, after I beat cancer, I survived cancer. I'm dealing with dialysis. She began to tell me her story about her going to dialysis and, dealing with diabetes and things like that. And I just saw it on her. I said, man, you've been ducking that pulpit, huh? She said, what you mean I've been ducking the pulpit? I say, nah, you've been called to preach. That's why God preserving you. He keeping you on his earth because you got a word to tell. And that lady looked at me and she wailed in her eyes. She was like, how you know? I said, that ain't for me to tell. I said, that's just God just gave me a little intel. That's all. I said, but God has called you for a time like this, even in the presence of where you are, even in a place like this. We were in America's best.
Yeah.
I said, God has still called you. It's not about the stage. It's not about the platform. You're on platform whenever you're in front of people that, even if it's a one-on-one. So we begin to talk about, yeah, I'm a preacher's kid and all these different things. And as we ended this conversation, I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed talking to you and you have a blessed day. She said, you know what? You made my day. Not only did you make my day, you made my month. I've never met a person like you. I said, man, don't stroke my ego, man. My head already too big. My wife tell me. So I go to the car and I open up the door and I hear the Lord clear as day. Get a lady a book. I said, man, bet. I go back in, I go to the counter, and I pull out a pen. I start signing the book. And she say, what you doing back? Did you forget something? You trying to, I guess back out on your glasses? I said, no, ma'am. I said, God just told me to come back and give you this book. She said, really? I said, yeah. She said, I didn't know you were an author. I said, man, I'm whoever God tell me to be in that moment, man. That's who I am. She said, well, I'm going to read this book. I said, all right. I said, well, I tell you what, when I come back, just tell me about it. I love to know what you think. I said, because I put my heart in it. I was extremely vulnerable in this book. She said, all right, I sure will. I'm going to read it. So a few weeks go by. Man, these people ain't called me about my glasses, man. I'm starting to worry. I'm looking at my wife like, hey, like these people trying to gank me or something. She laughing at me. She said, boy, you be tripping. So anyway, they gave me a call. I go into this store. I don't see this lady. I honestly forgot, if I keep it real, that I was supposed to talk to her and ask her about this book. So another young lady helped me. So I'm sitting down. The lady go to the back. And as she go to the back, who appears? This older lady. She's probably maybe about late 50s, early 60s. She say, I've been looking for you. I said, oh, Lord, what I do? I didn't do it. I don't know who did it. But, now she said, you definitely did it. I want to talk to you. So I said, yes, ma'am. So we sat down. She said, I read your book. And first of all, I want to tell you that I'm sorry about your parents, but I'm going to shake you because God got his hands on you, boy. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I'm going to tell you how I know God has his hands on you. She began to talk. She said, I read your book when I was in dialysis and I was crying. And I took your book home. And when I took your book home, I set your book down. She said, something I didn't tell you is I take care of my parents, my mother and my father. She said, my father had a massive stroke and he lost all movement on the left side of his body. And I went home and I set that book down. And do you know, my father won't eat. He won't drink. He's just pretty much waiting to die. He's lost a bunch of weight. He's just waiting to die. And I came back and that book was gone. All of a sudden, a day later, I heard my father excited and he's walking around this house saying, I need to take the mask off. I need to take the mask off. I need to figure out who I am. I need to find my purpose. Even in who I am, I'm taking the mask off. And he began to try to write. He hasn't written anything. He can't even write because he lost his whole mobility in his left hand, man. But he's sitting there, he's trying to write. He said, I got to write down my purpose, man. I'm getting emotional. Y'all got to excuse me, bro.
You good?
He said, man, I got to write down who I am because God ain't changed his mind about me. I got to take this mask off and show people who God has called me to be because I got it out of his book. And her husband ain't even a believer. Her husband like, man, what's wrong with your daddy? He been walking around his house talking about take a mask off. He could barely get around. He need to sit down somewhere. So she began to tell him, it's this man that I met. I think he my new friend. He ain't my friend like that, but I met him at at work. And he gave me this book. And I didn't know daddy was going to read the book, but daddy excited. Daddy ain't showed no excitement. He said, he got that out of a book. We've been trying to get this man mobile all this time, and he got all this stuff out of the book. So she said, now all of a sudden, daddy trying to show the book to mom. So she said, give me my book back. This man gave me this book. So she took the book back. And she said a day later, she went upstairs in her room. And you know what she did, bro? She noticed that book was sitting on her husband's side. And now her husband is reading it, bro.
Wow.
If don't nobody else buy this book, God has allowed me to see, man, that this book right here is in somebody's house and I don't know nobody's name, man.
Yeah.
God will prepare a table for you. So how you know you in your purpose if we do end this thing the right way, bro? How you know you in your purpose? Your name and your presence and your purpose will speak in rooms that you ain't even stepped in. That family blessed, man, because I was obedient to write my business, man. And bro, I am forever grateful.
Yeah, that is a great testimony. I gotta put a round up for that. I'm telling you, that is a great testimony, bro. I'm happy that you experienced that, and I mean, it is those type of moments when you in your purpose. Like my wife comes home and tells me about all the great things that's going on in her purpose and helping kids and doing things that help. She's doing several different things, helping kids, helping old folks, helping this, and I mean,
wow.
She comes home and tells it's just amazing. I mean, and that makes it all worth it. Like it's not even about the money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When you're working in your purpose, like you're saying, the money comes, but it's no greater joy than knowing what you're doing and having that moment like what you just said.
Yeah, man.
This lady that you didn't even know. That is a thing, man. And I appreciate you sharing that story. Just make sure if anybody wants to follow you, where they can follow you, where they can find you before we get into our reels and then our terrible football picks since you say you a football guru.
Football guru, man. I'm telling you.
We're going to see. We're going to see for sure.
Man, you can follow me on all social media platforms, man. Definitely on Facebook, of course, Kevin Hughes on Facebook, Kevin C. Hughes on Instagram, Kevin C. Hughes on TikTok. The link, of course, to my website is at the bottom. There's a short bio, tells you a little bit about me. I'm a father of 3, a husband of a beautiful, beautiful woman. We've been married for 20 years, been together, since, that's my boo thing right there, man. I love her frontwards and backwards, man. But definitely fortunate. I'm in my barber shop. I'm in a barber suite, so I'm a barber, and I'm an author and a speaker. So if you need me, holla at your boy.
For sure. All right. So what we do now is we go reels, we listen to the reels, and then we discuss them afterwards. I picked some pretty good reels that I think will definitely fall in. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with this first one first. You might even recognize somebody. So
Uh-oh. I know that guy.
Everybody. Man, this thought has been on my mind for a couple of days. I'm sure you've heard it before. Be careful or watch out for the people that don't clap for you or support you and all that good stuff. And I'm telling you, I used to rock heavy with that because I had a part in me where I felt I needed to show people that I'm going to be successful. I don't need them. And I've learned from that. I just pay attention to the ones that is supporting me. I had to learn something real strong that helped me in prison. When I was in prison and I got out, I was thinking about nobody was visiting me. I really didn't have a lot of people writing me. It was hard. I felt that some family members should have supported me more. And a man of God told me, man, that God removed the people from you. He wanted you to be able to trust him for where you're going. you had a chance to really see God move, that nobody will get the credit for what God is building in you. And I understand that God sends people in our lives but these are people that know that God sent them and they're not looking to take the glory or get in the way. Yeah. So this is really for people who are creating something. I started out in fashion when I came out of prison. I was, doing fashion all over St. Louis, East St. Louis. I made the front of the St. Louis American. I remember people walking up to me in the mall like, hey, ain't you that man or that boy in the front of the St. Louis American? So I felt a little something. I remember starting my book career, my speaking career, which led me to CBN, TBN, traveling all over, honored by Black Enterprise, amongst TV stars and all that good stuff. And it was a lot that God was trying to show me, but I was so concerned about people. So I'm saying to you right now that God will use people that you never thought of. He's been trying to do something in somebody's life and they're worried about people. He'll move it out the way. Tyler Perry had this thing that I learned from him. He said, God will hide you. He'll hide you into his time. Having this chance to come to Texas through some hard times, but having 2 syndicated TV shows. One goes into 100+ countries. Another one has 25+ million viewers every month, but they both want Reginald Foreman, not just the Reggie Line TV show, but the things that God has birthed in me from my book and from my teachings. And I say this to say, I didn't know what was going to happen. I don't even know some of the people that helped me out. It wasn't the regular people that I can reach out to. It was new people that God rose up. So this is about, don't focus, I'm telling you, on who's not supporting you, who's not coming. That's okay, because sometimes God will block them here, I feel the Holy Ghost, so that he can get the glory. And he'll use people you've never thought of. He'll put you in situations where you got to trust him. So I want to encourage you right now. Stay joyful, stay focused, and trust God. And the people who you believe need the help and won't, don't worry about it. God will raise other people up. This is Reginald Foreman saying, be in tune. God is doing some great things, and I'm planning to bring some people with me. And tomorrow, me and my wife will be going live. God bless.
All right. Do you recognize that guy, Kevin?
Man, that's my big brother, man. That's my big brother. Hey, man, that dude was in my life, man, before I even got saved, man. Real talk.
Okay.
Big bro, though.
All right. Well, to talk about what he said, I mean, the biggest thing that hits me in that passage is one that we do look for. A lot of times we do look for the people that ain't even involved in what we're doing to give us that applause. You know what I'm saying? That to give us the encouragement, or we put them in that pedestal where we want their approval. You know what I'm saying? And God will move those people out your. There's that saying that people are here for a reason, a season, and I can't even remember what the last one is, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And sometimes you gotta get rid of those people. Sometimes you gotta because God has the people. God will bring the people in front of you that'll help you and let you know that is. And the other thing is that God don't want you to think that it was y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was him that got you here. It was his glory. All this stuff that you're doing is for his glory. And a lot of times people get things that God has put in their place, and then they start believing in themselves more than they're believing in God. So, you just gotta definitely make sure, know that God will put the right people in. If the people aren't there, they ain't clapping, they ain't what's called, then they wasn't meant to be there. So that's what I got out of it. Matty Ice, what'd you get?
Yeah, it's similar, man. It's the same thing, moving in faith, because sometimes we do, look for others' approval, as far as what we doing and the way we moving. But like I don't usually get too scriptural or biblical, but like, similar to like Noah, like, nobody ain't believe in what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? But he moved in faith, but time showed that, he was doing the right thing. And then once he did it, everybody wanted to run to the ark, you know what I'm saying? So just continue to move forward, man. Have faith and believe in what you're doing. Trust your process and and believe. And a lot of times it'll work out for you, man. Sometimes you gotta block out some of those things. And like he said, a lot of times other people who you didn't even know will come to your aid, like, you know what I mean? And not even to your aid, but they'll see your vision as well. And You know, he'll give you those people, places, and circumstances that'll help you get to where you're trying to go.
Real quick, just to say something, even the story that Kevin just told. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure when he wrote the book, he was thinking like, oh, if my brother loved this joint, if my wife loves this book, then I'm good. But it's nothing like the story of that woman that just told you that really gives you confirmation. You know what I'm saying? And I even you telling that story just really, to me, hearing it, I'm happy for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that is something great. But anyway, let me let you go ahead and tell what you feel out of the reel.
Hey man, look. So a part of my identity issue is I had to deal with that, man. And my brother Reg, he in the comments, he'll tell you, like, I always have been the type of person. If God telling me to do something, I'm looking around. Who supported me? Is my people here? And when people aren't there, it used to stop, slow down, or stagnate even what God was telling me to do. I was looking for the support. And that's something God had to extract out of me, man. That even if my normal, in my regulars, and my folks, that's my day one's not even showing up, I still gotta go, bro. We still got a purpose. We still got something to do. So that's what that thing said to me, man. Is like, don't worry about the hand claps of the familiars. It's people out there, man, that that haven't even had an opportunity to meet you yet. So you wait on those people that's gonna clap, that you expecting to clap. You gonna forsake, and you're not gonna get a chance to see the people that you ain't even had a chance to experience yet. That's waiting to clap for you, straight up.
Absolutely. All right, I got one more reel, then we get into this terrible picks for y'all real quick.
Minister, it was a lecture he was doing, bro Cam, and I was sitting on the stage, and he said, I was looking up the definition of happiness, not in the dictionary. I consulted myself, and I didn't say it out loud, but this is what I was thinking. Yeah, who in the hell is Webster anyway? So I want to look what he said. The minister said, happiness comes when you find your purpose for living and you are fulfilling that purpose. That soul then has an unspeakable joy. So real happiness don't come from filling full your pocket. It comes from fulfilling your purpose. And we live in a world right now where most people do what they're paid for, not necessarily what they're made for. So they don't have no real true happiness. You'll be happier doing what you love, making less money, than doing what you don't really want to do and be making a lot of money at it. I was listening.
All right. Hey. Natty Ice, what you think about that?
Good right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, that's facts though. You know what I mean? Definitely we all want to make money, you know what I mean? But sometimes, man, you could be miserable at a job, you know what I'm saying? I know you could definitely attest to that, Rodney, going through what you went through over the last year, you know what I mean? But it is true, man, when you find your purpose or you got something that you love doing, you know what I mean? It's not really work, you know what I mean? It's a different feeling when you got something that you feel like you're doing and you fulfilling the purpose, you know what I mean? Of course, we all live on this earth, so we do need, you know what I mean, money to, take care of our necessities and different things like that. But overall, man, when you are moving with a purpose, man, wake up every day, man, with a mission that you're doing, man, you feel different, you know what I mean? You got a different energy, you know what I mean, that you feel. And I know that, you know what I mean, even though I'm working and different things like that, but when you're doing something different, man, you wake up with a whole different, you know what I mean, fire under you, you know what I mean, each and every day. You don't have to force yourself to get up and, you know what I mean, go to work and do things, man. You want to do those things. So, yeah, facts.
Man. Like I said, I talk about my wife because she's in her purpose. I'm getting there. I can't wait to get there. You know what I'm saying? I know that God is going to get me there, and I'm excited about it already. But it's still a huge difference when my old job, I was making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I woke up and I was just like, I can't stand this. Like I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't even care about the money at this point. I tell them to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want that happiness, that true happiness of doing what God, figuring out what God wants you to do, and doing what He wants to do is just a total different vibe, different thing. So I love this this actual statement. I thought it was a great thing to talk about. That living in your purpose is true happiness. So I'm curious to what you got to say about that, Kevin.
Well, I honestly, man, I gotta be obedient, man, and say this to both of y'all, man. I think, Rodney, I think you're more in your purpose than you think. Um, I think you are maybe looking past the fact of what you're doing right now. Uh, you're given an opportunity of complete strangers that you don't even know a platform, and you're building something with a unique foundation. And whether you realize it or not, man, this is you're in the vein of who you are and your purpose by giving God glory, bro, and being real, being transparent, allowing a space. Everybody can't do this, bro. Everybody can't do this. But God has something that started off as fun. You've gripped it and you've taken advantage and you've created a space, man. So I think I'm on here to challenge and task you to turn this thing up another notch. To get out here and find um, some people that's gonna be an engine behind the push of making you go more and be seen more. Um, a lot of things that you have learned throughout the years by doing a podcast like this have been through trial and error. But the trial and error that you've learned has got you to this point and to this place of where you are right now. But I encourage you to turn this thing up, man. I mean, turn this thing up. Take it more into just this is something I'm used to doing in routine. And like God, I'm giving you all of this. This you. And the things that's gonna come from this, because this is one of your uncomfortable things, is speaking on the other side of an audience because of a platform like this. That's something that's your portion and something that's coming for you. So, and that's why he's giving you the youth right now. He's giving you the youth to give you training grounds of where he's taking you. So be prepared. But that's my my charge for you is to turn this thing up. And Matty Ice, man, I got a word for you, brother. Um, it was a reason you were on here too today. Um, and I kept seeing you like, man, I gotta work. And I know I'm outside of the purpose that God got for me, but I have to do this. And I don't know, man. I just kept wanting to tell you, man, that God ain't changed his mind about you, man. God hasn't changed his mind about you. And it may look like it has slowed down, stopped, or even changed. But God had to allow that to happen for you to insert him in what you're about to do. I see you as an entrepreneur, but there's going to be a giving side of what you do as an entrepreneur. I don't have a clue what you do, but I know you're an entrepreneur. It's all over you. And even at the job that you at right now, bro, you're only doing it just to make money and you trying to figure out why. But is somebody even there that you got to give something to? You straddle that fence of who God has called you to be and you who you are perceived and presumed. You have a perception of who you are supposed to be. But I'm here to serve you notice because it's like I'm looking at myself. I'm here to serve you notice that you can be all of who you are, Matthew and Matty Ice, and still love God and still serve God. But what God is about to do with your business, you won't have a choice but to put them ahead of this one because you don't even know how to start it back. You ain't even got the means to start it back right now. But you're going to see. Mark this day. God is about to start speaking to you again about your business avenues. He's about to really give you a layout of how to strategically do this business his way. And it's going to be more profitable. It's going to bring him glory. And it's going to also uplift you. And you're going to find yourself in your God-given purpose, my brother. I don't know.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clip this and send that to O. Lady O. That way, if he'll try to act on it, Lady O will make sure she'll remind him. Lady O will remind him. So that's great. All right, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the word, man. Anytime anybody got a word from me, I accept it. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely accepted it, and I appreciate it, and thank you. But right now, I need you to be the guru on this NFL.
Guru is here. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So we can end the day.
Yeah,
I need to go
find out. Let's see.
Yeah, we about to find out because if you win, if your pick win, then I'm a know that the message you just gave me was real, or I'm just gonna realize that
they got nothing to do with these doggone picks, man.
Or I'm gonna realize that you better at giving the word than your football knowledge.
Hey,
so either or,
absolutely, yeah.
Either way, I'm still holding it against you. So. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these games, and like I said, I'm gonna make it difficult. So we're gonna pick the tight games this week. I ain't even gonna put no easy ones in here. So we're gonna start the week with the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. They have the Detroit Lions up by 3.5 points. We do not do points. It's straight who's gonna win. So you gotta tell us who your pick is. We're gonna say who our pick is, but I'm only putting in your picks, no matter what. But my pick in this game, because it's in Detroit, I'm gonna say Detroit's gonna win this game.
And it's a Thanksgiving game in Detroit. Detroit actually struggle at home on Thanksgiving games. Just to let you know, they struggle at home. I think they have a losing record on Thanksgiving at home. Just so you know. But go ahead.
All right.
So I don't want to going with Green Bay.
I want to pick the Lions only really because Coach is a Jordan Love fan and I am against Jordan Love. So that's my joint right there. So I'm picking the Lions. So what you got, Matty Ice?
It's gonna be a good game, I think. You know what I mean? I don't know what that offensive line looking like for Green Bay, so they might can get after them, but I'm leaning towards Green Bay just because of what they allow New York to do to them this Sunday, man. They had to come back and you know what I mean, win that joint against New York. So I think Green Bay gonna get
them. I like it. So I'm the tiebreaker. I like this. I like this. You know what? Like I said, Detroit struggled at home on Thanksgiving, man. And they kind of I don't know, man. They don't look right, man. They don't look right as far as that defense. You know, and Green Bay, that defense of Green Bay is coming to life, y'all. That thing ain't coming to life, man. That boy Michael Parsons out there, he tried to get after them, but I'm picking the Detroit Lions, man. I'm picking the Detroit Lions for the win, man.
All right, you're picking Detroit for the win. All that to say Detroit. All right. All right. So he good with the theatrics over here. We'll go ahead. Next game, we're gonna put the Kansas City Chiefs against the Dallas Cowboys. They're playing at the Cowboys. They have the Chiefs to win by 3.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Picking up Cowboys.
Yeah, me too. I'm going Chiefs too. But you know, we're going with only Kevin Hughes pick. So this is going to be his pick. So I'm gonna let you know. I'm blasting you on Facebook too when these picks don't come through.
One thing about this particular game, you already know this. I know you're a divisional guy. I know you're a Commanders fan, but you know it's about them fly, Eagles fly. And the Cowboys just beat us. But, you know, so I hate the Cowboys. I don't like nothing about them. I don't like the smell Cowboys fans. So I never pick the Cowboys, even if they get spotted 21 points. I'm going with Kansas City in a must-win game, and they gonna go on a run. They probably gonna mess around and make a doggone another Super Bowl appearance. So I got Kansas City, man, by 10.
Kansas City making another Super Bowl appearance?
Yeah.
I don't think so, bro. But we'll go ahead and keep it going. I heard you made your what is it, your pick or whatever they call the pick that people don't suspect or whatever that is. I don't know.
KC.
I don't even know what that is. What are you trying to do?
All right, so one of them teams, man.
We're gonna go with another close game only because they're putting it as close pick'em. And that's the Arizona Cardinals versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. It's only a 3-point game. They say that Tampa Bay is predicted to win by 3. So, and they're playing at Tampa Bay. So, Cardinals in Tampa Bay. Matty Ice, what you think?
Oh, I'm going Tampa Bay, man. I like Tampa Bay. Yeah.
All right, Tampa Bay is your pick.
Cardinals don't got no receivers right now, man. Their receivers hurt, and well, I don't even really worried about their quarterback either way. Whoever playing their quarterback, but they ain't got no receivers right now.
Yeah.
All right. So who you picking? Kevin?
Man, so they are supposed to get a receiver back in Tampa Bay. Godwin, he's supposed to be back healthy. Supposed to get Irvin back, their running back, so they're gonna add some depth, man. So I'm going with Tampa Bay, man. I do not believe in Jacoby Brissett, bro. I'm sorry, I don't believe in him. And then he don't have nobody to throw the ball to, man.
Exactly.
And Tampa Bay just got smacked last night by the Rams, man. So they are desperate for a win.
All right. So our next pick, we're gonna go ahead and go against Coach because I want to see what how you feel about this Coach pick because I know who Coach would pick on this, but that'd be the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts playing this week. They're playing in Indy. They have Indy predicted for 4.5 points in Indy, but what do you think? Well, me, I'm gonna go against the Colts because that's what Coach would do, and so I'm doing that. So I'm going to Texas. And Matty Ice, what you think?
I don't know. Is CJ Stroud back? Because I wasn't liking that dude Mills the other day. He ended up looking good by the end of the game, but Mills was looking shaky, man. I don't know. I'm rolling with the Colts, man. It depends. I don't know because I don't know if CJ Stroud playing. He had a concussion, so he should be playing. But if it's Indy, man, I'm going with the Colts, man. They're running back, man. He looking unstoppable right now, man. I'm gonna have to go with the Colts.
Well, all right. Considering you're in Texas over there, Kevin, make sure you don't. I don't want you to get kicked out of nowhere. Go ahead. What you picking?
Hey, look, I already talked about the Cowboys. They're closer than you. Cowboy fans don't like me anyway, and I like that they don't like me.
Yeah, he an Eagles fan. He ain't worried about that.
I like that they don't like me. So, man, to make this one sweet and a short, man, I'm going with the Colts, man. The Colts got exposed, man, against the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are playing desperate, so that's expected, man. But, man, I think the Colts are real deal, man. That boy Indiana Jones, man. So I got old Jonathan Taylor for 2 touchdowns, 120 yards, man, and Indiana Jones gonna throw that pill, man.
2 touchdowns? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, so Coach won't be yelling at me. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Denver Broncos versus the Washington Commanders.
Oh,
they're
man.
going to be in Washington. They have Denver by 6.5 points, but it is just a pick 'em game. It is just who's going to win the game. So who you picking? I already know that me and Matty Ice are going to say Washington, even though I don't think they're going to win, but I'm still going to say Washington. Broncos. But Kevin, what you got? Broncos?
Yes, sir.
All right, those are our 5 picks. Let me put this best slip in real quick. $20. We'll win 142. And what I'll do, Kevin, is if we win, I will donate this money to. You know what I'll do? I'm going to take the money if we win and buy use the money to buy all your books and give your book to someone.
Man,
that's what I'm going to do if
That's
we
dope.
win. If
That's
we
dope.
win this $142, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take that money and buy your book and then give that book to people. If we win, but I don't think we're going. I mean, actually, your picks are pretty decent. I mean, these were easy. These were well, I don't know.
It's not easy. It's supposed to be
I'll
tough,
take
man.
that back. I'll take that back because
Those are tough games, man.
yeah, the Kansas City Dallas game is tough. The last few were easy, but the Green Bay and Detroit game is a tough one.
It ain't no easy picks this season, man. These
No,
games
man.
been crazy.
Yeah,
These games been crazy this season.
That is 100% true. I ain't been winning, but Jonathan Taylor, I need him to help me in my fantasy league because I done lost for some reason. The last 3 weeks, I done went against all the top people that won that week. They had the highest score that week. But anyway, last but not least, I am looking forward to joining Reggie Foreman and his wife on their show this Sunday night at 7:00 with Real Talk with the Foremans.
You gotta check it out.
Me and my beautiful wife will be joining. And anybody know when my wife get on the camera, we show up and show out when we have fun together and enjoying. So we're both very excited about joining him on that show and having a good time. So y'all make sure y'all come join us on that Sunday night at 7:00. I can't wait for it. And just this Sunday coming up. What's today? Yeah. This Sunday.
I'll tell you this. I don't know if you know this or not, man. Me and my wife actually created the intro to their podcast, man. So
okay.
That's us singing. Me and my wife singing on the intro.
Okay. I can believe your wife can sing, but no. You was probably just low harmony, like we'll see. We'll check it out though. But I give you credit, man. It's all good. Yeah, for sure. But we're definitely excited about doing that. Make sure y'all check us out on there. Thank y'all for everybody who joined in the comments. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Reginald Foreman. Shout out to our boy Chef Dennis from the Battle to the Glory. Shout out from our girl Destiny. Shout out for everybody who's in the comments. Make sure y'all join us next week. We are going to get ready to go on a break for holidays, spend some time with our kids. Next week we should have Shaka Barrett joining us. He is a relationship counselor. So we're going to just talk about that, talk about therapy and counseling and working on your relationships and have a good time. So make sure y'all join us next week for that. And thank y'all for coming and hanging out. God bless. Good night.
Peace.
Sound y'all.